Hello everybody, welcome to Live from Lockdown. I'm Eilidh Patterson and I hope you had a really lovely Easter Sunday wherever you spent it this year. I know that we're all living restricted lifestyles at the moment, and there are some people who would rather be with family and aren't, and there's some people who are with family and would rather not be. So whatever bracket you find yourself in, I hope you survived the day okay. I've had a lovely day and a lovely week. I actually let my dad cut my hair this week, so you can see it's a lot shorter this week than it was last week, and he didn't do too bad a job, so thanks very much, Dad. So anyway, I've had a good week. I've just been learning Spanish. That's one of the things I'm doing at the minute, and I read a really great book this week called If You Want to Write, and it's by an author called Brenda Euland, and I would really highly recommend that to anyone who is a writer or would like to write and hasn't really found the courage to write. It's a very inspiring book, so it's called If You Want to Write by Brenda Euland. And I really enjoyed that. I think I'm going to start reading War and Peace this week, so I don't know if I'll get through it or not, but I thought this was as good a time as any to start reading the classics, so there we go. Anyway, I am going to get started with the first song for tonight's session, and this is from the Journeymaker album. It's a song called Where the Truth Lies. I've been running round in circles, chasing my tail, no idea which way to turn. I've been searching for the answers to no avail, still have all these lessons to learn, but I know I'm on the right road now, 'cause on the other side of asking why or how, baby, that's where the truth lies. Sometimes it's standing there in front of our eyes, but it takes a while to realize, baby, that's where the truth lies. Self-appointed borders keep us contained in the safety of an ordinary life. We believe all that is told us, like we didn't have a brain or a heart that knows it's wrong from right, but you know that there will come a day soon when you'll grow out of that little room, and baby, that's where the truth lies. It's far beyond what you can see with your eyes. If you'll run the race, you'll win the prize, baby, that's where the truth lies. Just dig a little deeper than you've done before, and you'll find beyond the surface that there's so much more. Baby, that's where the truth lies. It's balancing on the edge of that line, the one where seeking hearts will always find. Baby, that's where the truth lies. Oh, and it's such a fine, fine line. Baby, that's where the truth lies. So last week I sang a song that was called I've Got Lines, and that was written on my way back to Derry after having lived in Belfast for 7 years, you'll remember. But you know, the first time that I ever left Derry, I wrote a song as well, and that's what I'm going to sing you now. I should have really done them in the opposite order. So I wrote this song, I don't know how many years ago, but it appeared on my first album, and it's a song that If anyone's listening from Northern Ireland tonight, you'll remember the late great Jerry Anderson, who was just a wonderful broadcaster, and he really promoted local music in a way that other presenters didn't do at the time, you know. So I was really fortunate that he played my music a lot, and he used to play this song all the time. So every time I play it, it just reminds me of him. But it's one of those songs that, you know, no matter what stage I'm at in my life, it always seems to make sense, because I seem to always be moving on to something new. There's always something happening in my life, and things are changing, and I know that that's the same for all of us. So it's kind of a song that I don't think will ever not be relevant to me, and I hope it doesn't become like stuck in history, because it would be a sad thing if we didn't change all the time, wouldn't it? So anyway, this is Moving On. It's taken a while, but now that I'm here, I'm good. Settled in calm, I know who I am, like you said I would. Tears of frustration no longer roll down my face. Determination is standing right there in its place. Fear is not an issue, no, it's been and gone. The tables are turning and I'm moving on. Moving on. All the wasted years of ambition and desire fade as the smoke clears and I can see the fire. That thing that you say about finding a way, well, that's true. I just never thought it would lead away from you. For the first time in a long time, I'm feeling strong. Let the wind rise against me, but I'm moving on. Moving on. The path is stretching out before me. The gates are open wide, and a freedom-like sensation is bubbling up inside. Older things have passed away, and this is something new. Nothing's gonna hold me now. I'm breaking through. And I'm not looking back, it wasn't my fault. I won't turn into a pillar of salt. I'm not looking back, it wasn't my fault. I won't turn into a pillar of salt. I'm not looking back, it wasn't my fault. I'm not looking back. Hope you enjoyed that one. So I have a friend in Glasgow who I met about 10 years ago at the Celtic Connections Festival in Glasgow, which is on every January. And I remember going over with nothing but my guitar and me. And I went and I camped out there in Glasgow for about 2 weeks and didn't know anybody. And I met this lovely guy called John Maguire. And he recently texted me and said, would you ever play that song, Do I Ever Cross Your Mind? He says, it just reminds me of spending mornings with my grandparents, Sunday mornings, I think he said, with his grandparents in their kitchen, and the smell of the fry and everything. And I love songs like that kind of do something for for your own memories, you know. So there's plenty of songs that I can think of that, you know, make me harken back to times gone by. And so anyway, this is for John, and this is a song called Do I Ever Cross Your Mind? And you probably heard me tell the story of this song before at gigs, but I'll just say it again for those who haven't heard it. I was really fortunate to go to South by Southwest Festival 3 times in a row, and it was 2008, 2009 and 2010, and I went as a group of Northern Irish musicians, so I was one of a group, and it was great fun. We had so much crack. And one of the other songwriters that was on one of the trips with us was a songwriter called Ben Glover, and he is currently residing in Nashville and doing very well for himself. But back then we were all just starting out, and Ben and I were walking along the street one day in Austin, Texas, which is where South by Southwest Festival takes place. And I remember one of his friends came running up to us and said, "Hey Ben, you know, I've got 2 free tickets to go see Willie Nelson tonight. Can you use them?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can." So I made sure I took the second ticket and that nobody else got that ticket. And it was great fun. So we went out, and it was about 45 minutes outside of Austin, Texas. And we took a taxi out and to this beautiful outdoor gig with Willie Nelson and the full band, and his sister with the long hair, you know, down to here, and his old beat up guitar, and the full band were playing. It was just an amazing gig. And I remember the hill, there was like a hill leading down to the stage, so and the stage was just swathed in blue lights, and there were fairy lights in the trees all around, and it was just a really magical experience, especially because it was free too. You know, when you get something free, it always feels a bit more magical. So anyway, I remember just loving that night and just listening to Willie Nelson sing all his greatest hits, and I thought, oh, I would just love to write a song and just capture that night and capture the performance, and try to write in the style that Willie would write in, just for the crack. So I went back to the hotel that night, and this song came tumbling out before I went to sleep. And as I say, this goes out to everyone, but especially to my friend John. All the stars are out tonight. The moon is hanging low. Romance is in the air at this Willie Nelson show. And everything is blue. The stage, the lights, my heart, and this feeling's nothing new. Been there since we fell apart, and I wonder where you are. I wonder how you've been. Is she all you hoped she'd be? Is she the sweetest thing? Do you ever think at all of the one you left behind? Was I the only one to fall? Do I ever cross your mind? Blue eyes crying in the rain. You were always on my mind. Only remind me again of the love I've yet to find. But underneath these stars, I'm strengthened by the sounds. Maybe I was just an angel flying too close to the ground. Is she the sweetest thing? Do you ever think at all of the one you left behind? Was I the only one to fall? Do I ever cross your mind? Was I the only one to fall? Do I ever cross your mind? You see what's next on the list here? So, about this time, 12 years ago, there was a very special little girl born, and that was my cousin's baby, and her name was Lydia, and I went to visit her on Easter Sunday 12 years ago, and she'd just been born about a week beforehand, and she was wearing this little frilly white bonnet and a little frilly white dress, and it just broke my heart. It just melted me, and I thought, oh, you know, what a gorgeous little baby, what a gorgeous wee dress, and what a beautiful name. So I was just thinking about her, couldn't get her out of my mind, and as I was driving home, and I think I got inspired in the car as I was driving, and then quickly wrote down this song. And so this is for Lydia, and Lydia, if you're watching, happy birthday. I'm sorry you had to have a birthday in lockdown. A 12th birthday in lockdown is just not great, but I hear you were a great sport about it, so well done you. And so this is for all the mothers out there, and for anyone who's expecting a baby or a new baby has come into the family. I know there's another friend, Joe Corrigan, he's just had a little granddaughter. So anyway, it just brings so much joy, doesn't it? This is Lydia. Lydia looks really cute in her Easter Sunday suit. She came into our world a week ago. Took the family by surprise. She's got mama's hair and daddy's eyes. The news was broadcast on the radio. It's funny how she came along just as spring arrived. She's already changing seasons without opening her eyes. On and on, life goes on, and people come and people go. Once in a while, a baby's smile will melt your heart like sun melts snow. Hey Lydia, can't wait to watch you grow. And when it comes a time to start at school, don't let him take you for a fool. Read all you can and learn about the world. It's not such a bad old place, no matter what some people say. It can be your oyster if you let it go. I pray that you won't ever have to shed a single tear, and you will grow up strong and wise with every passing year. On and on, life goes on, and people come and people go. Once in a while, a baby's smile will melt your heart like sun melts snow. Hey, Lydia looks really cute in her Easter Sunday suit. She came into our world a week ago. So anyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love dogs, and sadly I've never owned one, but I hope to someday. And I remember coming back to Derry that time, and I had a lot of time in my hands, and I decided to sign up with Guide Dogs for the Blind and become a dog walker during the week. So it was a really great experience. I did it for 2 years, and every Wednesday I would take this beautiful black Labrador out for a walk, and with his owner as well. And so we'd go for this walk around the park near where I live, and it was just a beautiful experience. You know, I got to spend time with the dog and with the owner, and they got the chance to just kind of get out and get a bit of fresh air and a new environment and all that kind of thing. So it was just a really great thing. So anyway, roll on about a year later, and I was asked by Guide Dogs for the Blind to write a song for an awards ceremony that they were having in the City Hall in Belfast. And initially I was really terrified about it, thinking, oh, how am I going to write a song about this? But, you know, when I really sat down and thought about it, the words and the music just came flooding through, because I realised that, you know, after having spent so much time with this dog and its owner, I'd been watching this beautiful relationship between the two of them, and it was based on complete and utter trust. And I just thought, wow, that's just amazing. You know, the dog puts a lot of trust in the owner, and the owner puts their full trust in the dog. And I just thought, wow, if I could have a relationship with God the way she has that relationship with that dog, then I'd be flying. And you know, my relationship with God has been undergoing a lot of changes in the last few years. I used to be so afraid of who God was. I used to be so terrified of getting it wrong, of messing up, and of failing, and then scared of coming into his presence and all of these things. And then I realized that all he wanted to do was to let me see me through his eyes, and to let me see how he views my life instead of how I view it. And he saw my life as perfect. So whenever, you know, you really, you know, when that sinks into your heart for the first time, it's just overwhelming. It really is. And it's been really transformational in my life, just to know that God is not holding anything against me, and that he's actually on my side. So, and by my side. So anyway, yeah, so this song just flowed out of me, because, you know, that parallel between the relationship between Rebel and his owner, and myself and God. And it's funny that the dog was called Rebel, you know, because that's kind of how I felt as well. But, you know, I know that God doesn't see me as a rebel. He sees me as his child. And I just love that picture. So anyway, this is Be My Guide. I thought I'd found the way to live, no need for company, didn't know the joy it was to give, or what it would give to me. But since you've come into my life, my heart is opened wide inside. I'm seeing with your eyes, learning how to trust, even when my days become too much. I'm letting go the fear of making a mistake. Now you're by my side for every step I So this week I was hoping to have a special guest join me via Zoom, and unfortunately that didn't work out. As you can see, I'm on my ownio. But to make up for it, I thought I would sing you a brand new song off my forthcoming album, which is called Safe Place. And this song has only been sung in a handful of places over the last year or two. I've been kind of sitting on these songs for a while, and I'm delighted to be able to share one of them with you tonight. And this one is called Upside Down Kingdom. And I wanted to share this song because, there are so many things that are topsy-turvy when it comes to walking with God, and you think that things are going to go a certain way, and actually it's the opposite way. And one of the things that I have found really transformational in my walk with God has been just realizing that it's not based on my efforts. My relationship with God isn't all about me. It's actually all about what He has done. And yes, you could say, of course I know that, I knew it too. I knew it for many years up here, but it never really, transformed me in my heart. And so that has been my experience over the last while, which I'm really excited about, which is just to be able to relax finally with God and to know that everything's fine, and that He has accomplished everything through the cross. And obviously we're celebrating Easter today, and I can talk a bit about that in the sense of, the cross is completely pivotal to your faith when you're a Christian. And if he hadn't have rose from the dead, if the resurrection had never happened, there'd be no reason to have any faith. And so I'm just delighted today to be able to receive the fullness of what the cross accomplished that day, what Jesus accomplished on the cross, and to be able to receive it fully, knowing that it's a gift and that it's not something I have to earn. Oh yeah. Before I start the song, I just want to say thank you again for joining me this week. I've been delighted to have your company, and it's been so encouraging just to see you all online and to be able to interact with you. And I'm glad that these songs are giving you some hope and comfort during this time. And actually, it's really encouraging me too, to be honest, because, what would I be doing otherwise? And it's just really nice to be able to have this outlet and to have people like you watching. So thank you so much. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the reason for subscribing to people's channels is that when you get up to something like 1,000 subscribers, independent artists can finally get paid for the work that they put up there. So anyway, all that aside, I will be back next week. I hope you will too. Let me know if you have any requests and I will do them. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be here for another few weeks at least anyway, so I'll be here as long as the lockdown's on. Okay, God bless. To love is to give, to die is to live, to let go is the way to move on. Sometimes the shortest way to the heights is the path that seems lonely and long. And sometimes God sends a prison when you've prayed so long to be free. But there in that place, you'll find that His grace is sufficient for every need. Oh, whoever heard of a fight being won by surrendering down on your knees? Who would have thought that the way to be strong is acknowledging weakness and need? And what about earning all that is good, to be told you just have to receive? Well, this is the upside down kingdom of God and how Jesus is saving me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We make our plans, think we'll give God a hand in the hard task of leading us through. He patiently waits till things fall apart and we cry out, Lord, what will we do? His answer comes just when we need it, wrapped up in the gift of His peace. And just like a child, we can laugh, we can smile, 'cause His presence is all that we need. Oh, whoever heard of a fight being won by surrendering down on your knees? Who would have thought that the way to be strong is acknowledging weakness and need? And what about earning all that is good, to be told you just have to receive? Well, this is the upside down kingdom of God and how Jesus is saving me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So I'll focus my mind on eternal things, let go of the ways in which this world thinks. Know that my home is in heaven above, born into the kingdom of love. I'm a new creation with royal blood. The river of life flows through me like a flood. I am one with the Spirit, the Father, the Son, because of what Jesus has done. Oh, whoever heard of a fight being won by surrendering down on your knees? Who would have thought that the way to be strong is acknowledging weakness and need? And what about earning all that is good, to be told you just have to receive? Well, this is the upside down kingdom of God and how Jesus is saving me. See you next week. Bye.